A new season, a new being, a new dad. That's right, one of us made a sequel. In this episode, we'll revisit being a new dad. So join us for some deja vu as we reminisce about the differences of having a baby the second time around on Three-Dimensional Dads.
Three friends, all geeks, exploring every dimension of being a dad.
I'm Jay.
I'm Derrick.
And I'm Ian.
And we're back, baby.
Hey,
We're back.
all right.
Season 3, Revenge of the Dads. Well, it's certainly not the Rise of the Dads or the
Return of the Dads.
Return of the Dads would work. Return of the Dads, and you know it's a very apropos episode for the Return of the Dads because we're talking about babies
Jay loves
crying. I love crying. My friend Justin gave me this shirt because every time we teach the Holocaust about my grandmother and her escape from Nazi Germany, I cry. So I love crying. That's it. So,
hi, welcome to the podcast.
Yes.
We talk about feelings.
Yes.
Hello.
but we have to mention this. Some people may be watching us with their eyes on YouTube, but if you're just listening to us on Spotify, Apple, wherever, we have a YouTube channel. We'll put the link there down in the thing.
Yes, of course.
What's it called? The thing? The notes.
Sure.
We call it the basement.
It's
in the basement.
It's in the basement. Don't touch the thermostat.
Yes.
So, yes, this episode's about having a baby, but this is about having a baby the second time around. One of us has made another baby, and that one of us is
me.
Derrick. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
So
yes.
if you were placing your bets on which one of us it was, so I just recently had in September my second child, and
Hey.
a lot has changed over the course of the year since we took a break. I have a new partner, and we had a baby together, and it is pretty amazing. But I will say that having a baby a second time around, there are lots of pros and there's lots of cons, right? So first of all, when we found out that we were pregnant, you go to the doctor, and this time around, we had what's called AMA, advanced maternal age, they call it. So we are technically geriatric parents, which is fantastic. So I'm going to get my AARP card. So of course, when you go to the doctor, they're going to try to scare you, right? So they will give you the pros and they'll give you the cons, right? So a lot of the cons could be, of course, that, with advanced age, right, you have higher risks for miscarriage, gestational diabetes, all the fun stuff, chromosome abnormalities, etc. But I think also, too, with being more mature in your age, there are also a lot of pros. For instance, I think in generally, when you're more settled down, you have more financial stability. You're probably also more emotionally mature. You have more life experience too.
That's true.
A lot of things that will roll off your back. I think that a lot of people that when you're younger and you're having a kid, that could stress you out. You're also more settled in your life. You're probably more settled in your career and your job, and you're not worrying about having to make big choices that could affect a younger family, I think. Liz and I, we also have a more healthy, conscious lifestyle. So we're also bringing that into, raising our child as well. So, in a lot of ways, I think we're just more self-assured. We're more self-confident. But also, I think we appreciate the little things that we notice more. Even, when you have a child that's screaming at you in your face, I think there's the little things that you could just laugh at and you don't get as stressed about as maybe that you did before. And something else that I think that after, my first experience that we really did the second time around was advocating for yourself and your health care. That was a big deal. Not just taking, what the doctor says at face value, or doctors in that case, right? But really advocating and doing your own research, but also aligning with a healthcare provider that really supports the way that you want to bring your child into the world and, is informed. And, if you want less intervention, there are doctors out there that will support you in doing that, right? That will have more common sense maybe, and just not by going the book of what the insurance is telling them. So I really think it's important that you go out, you do your research, you do your work, and you really advocate for, maternal care that will really support the way you want your child to come in. There's tons of resources. I mean, there's doulas, there are, midwives, there's natural birthing centers. You can have a baby in all sorts of flavors and ways. It's just really aligning with your partner and figuring out what experience that you both want to have, bringing your child into the world.
Yeah. Yeah, that's great. That's great advice. Definitely, especially with the way insurance is now.
Yes.
Definitely be your own advocate. And if you want to do something, I would say out of the ordinary, right? I mean, people, when the indigenous persons in Massachusetts were having babies in the 1500s, I don't think they were going to Mass General.
Nope.
So, yeah.
No.
So, Derrick, you reminded me of, in my neighborhood, I think someone might have a profession as a midwife or a doula.
Mm-hmm.
So they have a bumper sticker that said, "Midwives, we help people out." And I was like, I thought that was pretty great. I know. When I came around, I was like, that could have more than one meaning.
That's a good dad joke. That's a good dad joke.
Hey-o.
Welcome to the season. Hey, season 3.
Hey-o.
Hey-o. So, So I was thinking, hearing you talk about going back to having a second kid at the hospital. The first time is so scary. And so I think we should mention, new dads, if you're listening to this, we have an episode that we did in our first season. It was episode 4. That was a new dad guide to being a new dad. And so we shared all these things they don't tell you. Dads don't talk about this stuff enough. And so we shared all those. It's scary. There are things that just no one mentions to you. And then after, I'm like, wait a minute. And everyone's like, oh, yeah, that's just life. I was like, I had no idea.
Yep.
That's what having a kid would actually be like physically, or what to expect, or emotionally for a dad. There's a lot.
So you guys didn't get the pamphlet?
Oh, well, we got a folder of
man book?
stuff. But it is wild that I think that people do more background checks and things for you getting a pet or a dog, and they just give you a human being, and you just go home with it. And they're like, "Good luck."
So that was one of my things about the first kid. I feel like they checked. We talked about it in our episode. They check car seats.
Yep.
They come out to your car. They inspect. So for the second kid, I went to the nurse. I was like, "Do you want to see our car seats?" She's like, "No, you got this." Like, they did not. Yeah, same with changing diapers. Like the first baby, the nurses would come in and make sure we were stocked and change the diapers. Second time around, they're like, "Here's your baby." It was such a different. If they knew that you were a parent already, it was. But I thought the whole experience was really different having a second kid, having that confidence.
Yeah.
Is that when you've already had a baby, you've already seen a lot of this before, you've already been through it once. Your first kid, it's all brand new, and that was very stressful and very anxiety-inducing.
I totally agree.
Yeah, second time around, at least you're just kind of like, all right, I've changed a diaper, I've held a newborn for months. Like, I remember that was scary with having a newborn. It's like you're holding them and they're so fragile, and are they breathing, or all these things you have to figure out, how to feed them, how to change them, how to, even just how to be with them,
right?
To play with them or talk to them or any of that stuff.
How to hold them while playing golf. It's like.
So I almost feel like I couldn't enjoy it as much, where it was hard to, I was just so freaked out the whole time. Yeah. And then you find out that goes so fast. Yeah. It's like really that first year is a blink afterwards. In it feels long.
Well, there is, I would say evidence that says that your mind actually blocks a lot of that out because it's so traumatic. And again, nothing terrible might happen, but it's this new stress that's, it's, on a level of 0 to 10, it's definitely an 11, right? It's bad. And your brain does wonderful things when it comes to repressing memories sometimes, which makes you want to have another kid. And then it all comes back.
Right. Yeah. And I think something else balancing the second time was staying in the hospital. For the first time, I camped out at the hospital with my wife, and we stayed for 3 days, and we both were there with the baby the whole time. Having a second kid, we had a kiddo at home. So it's so I was balancing being at the hospital, being a dad to my daughter, where my wife really had to stay. She's the one who had the physical baby.
Right.
So so it was it was a new role. I'm already a dad, and now I'm a dad again. It was it was definitely a different vibe.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Even the little things, right, where if you went to the bathroom or something and the child was crying, you'd be freaking out. You're like, oh my God, I got to run out with the toilet paper, just stuck to my foot because he's crying. And now I'm like, all right, I'll be there in a minute. Quit your belly aching. I'm going to the bathroom. Da, 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 da. You're definitely more relaxed about it, I feel, in a way, because you know they're not going to break. And you could be more reassuring to them, even though they don't understand what you're saying. Be like, don't worry, you're safe. You know, I think my partner's been really good about even saying things like, hey, he's in a car. He's got clothes on. He's just been fed. He's just probably cranky about something. You know, it's going to be fine. Even in those high stress areas, I think going through it the second time around, it really, you do take that experience, I think, with you.
Right. Yeah. And I think, you know, going home is another thing I think about after the hospital was that, you know, you're already in that rhythm with your partner. Yeah. Where it's like we had a baby. And so being in that rhythm of like when you sleep, when you don't sleep, who changes it, who does this, do you need a minute? Like all that communication we worked out already. Yeah. And the house is already baby proofed. Yeah. Like our dogs have already been around a baby. So yeah, I feel like that was nice where it's like, yeah, the house is already baby proofed. And then the other little piece here is then I was trying to teach my older daughter how to be a sibling. Oh. So that's a new thing, too, is like before we came home and it was just all about this little infant all the time. But then when you have another toddler, like I had a toddler and an infant, it's like that was a very different experience teaching the older kid how to, you know, you have to be quiet and the baby can't play right away. Right. And can't be too intense, can't be too rough. You know, you have to be gentle. Yeah. So. and what I think also beforehand, I was excited, like, oh, my older kid will have someone to play with. It wasn't until like the baby got to that little toddler age where I realized that now they have someone to fight with. Where before the baby, it was like us and the baby, and it was all about the baby, and everything was whatever the baby wanted. Well, now if you have a sibling, that's conflict. So yeah.
But you just a whole new set of things you got to navigate.
Don't you just put him in? Don't you just put him in that pen like with plastic and let him solve it like Thunderdome?
It was during a pandemic, so yes, we got a tent that we labeled affectionately the bite tent because whenever they go in there, they think we're not looking, and there's biting. Maybe on both ends. I don't. Yeah. So,
yikes.
My God.
Yes. The choice of having a second child.
I actually feel I'm at a loss right now because I don't have a second child that I know of. Yeah, I like a little pause there. Right? No.
Wait a minute.
No, I have the one daughter. She's 8 going on 9. I don't have the same experience. So hearing you guys, I'm like kind of feeling a little nostalgic, I will say, right? I was a little nostalgic. I love those times. And yeah, they were really hard. There was a lot of crying. There was a lot of, and that's just me, right? Like it was the baby too. And you know, there's all these things about supporting your wife and making sure that that's okay. So I'm reflective, I guess I would say, you know, like I remember that one of the big things was just rest. You all need rest, right? No matter who is on duty, that person will need the rest. So, you know, you let the wife sleep or the other parent sleep. You take the baby, whether it's, you know, midnight, whether it's 3 a.m. You have to like balance that out. Like they say, sleep when the baby sleeps. That can't really mean both of you, right? Because then you're both awake. You're on different schedules. It's tough. It's hard. So communication, obviously, really important. I think when you have that experience of having a wife or a partner that had the child, right, and they are just physically exhausted, right? Those first 2 or 3 weeks, right? You take those extended shifts, let them sleep. I think it's a good time to do audiobooks. You can catch up on your favorite shows, right? Some of my favorite moments with my daughter as a baby were like laying on the couch and falling asleep with her, listening to music or anything like that. I loved it. And it gives your partner some extra rest. It's good bonding time too. You know, I also think about the mental load, right? Because we talk about physical, now we have mental. That mental load is just a Kobayashi Maru. It's an unwinnable situation. Like there is nothing you can do to solve that mental stress which comes with having a baby for the first time, or I would argue the second time too, because it is a lot of mental stress. You know, Derrick, you're dealing with having a baby, you know, pretty, you know, far out from having your first. And then Ian, you were right, boom, boom. Right away. Like not Irish twins necessarily, but you know, you had a baby fairly close to your first.
Yeah, about three-year difference.
Yeah, that's not too long, right? Your older daughter was still, really, really young.
Yeah.
So how do you take the mental load off? It's just give supportive talk. Be out loud. You're doing a great job. I know this is hard, but I believe in
Yeah.
you. You're doing great. Just all these positive affirmations, they work. They work.
Yeah.
Sometimes they'll yell at you and say, "You did this to me. How dare you? You were at work all day when I was here with the crying kid." Which actually, that happens, right? People get upset, but just communicate. I think that's the biggest thing. And if I'm talking to all the dads out there, new dads, old dads, this is advice that goes beyond parenting. This goes advice that I'm still working on with my wife, right? Communicating. But it's so important to communicate that positivity, I think.
Yeah, and I think for guys sometimes, right, communications are really can be really hard. I think that, words, specifically communicating words. And I think something though that guys can also do to support their partners is acts of service. I think that goes a long way too. And things that, you could also, again, take the mental load off, things that, you might not realize is like bust out the vacuum, help cleaning around the house, the dishes, getting the bottles ready for like nighttime, or, if you're cleaning breast pump parts, help do the dishes, right? Help get all that stuff ready, stock the changing table, make meals ahead of time. Like one thing that we did is triple batch, stuff that you're making, right? So you have that ready to go because, man, you're not going to have time to make dinner all the time. You're going to be dealing with a screaming infant, your partner, you might be going to work, you're coming home, you're expecting to eat something, grab something in that freezer, just like thaw it out the next day, have stuff ready to go. Getting a chest freezer was like one of the best things that we ever did. We were like set for the first 3 weeks. It was just like amazing. There's also lots of like I have a hobby. I do 3D printing, and I was able to 3D print stuff for my partner's breast pump, like just a little belt clip that she could put her portable breast pump on her belt.
Holster?
A holster.
I'm hearing a holster.
Yeah, a holster for her breast pump, right? So she could take it while she was on the go. And like now, like, there have been other like women in this group that she's part of on Facebook that want them. So just like, so, we're mailing a bunch of those out and stuff. But I think the other thing to expect is that, this is just like something that happened today. What can go wrong will go wrong. It's like Murphy's Law. It's like, if you decide to put the bottle back into the refrigerator, the baby's going to cry and get hungry. And it's just rolling with the punches in a lot of ways. But I do think, Jay, like what you're saying, it's like you do need to show appreciation for others. You do need to you have to realize that you're in the thick of it. And a lot of people say it's like going in through the trenches, but you could also enjoy that. You could also just say like, hey, this is going to be memories that you're not going to have in a few months. I mean, I could just see before my very eyes that, Alex isn't an infant anymore. He's like an actual baby. He's like, we're already putting on clothes that he had. And we're like, oh my God, he's already, out of these. He's like,
wow,
he's a real kid with like bread rolls all over him, right? We're like, oh, he's got little ham hocks now, right? So it's just, it goes so fast. It's just like unbelievable.
So you mentioned 3D printing parts. So that's very different in 2025 than it was. Like, I know when I had my kids, I don't think 3D printers were even a thing.
Yeah, right,
Yep.
right, yeah.
Yeah.
There were so many new things that, I mean, you could talk about gadgets and things all day long, but there was actually a lot of things that in preparation before having the baby that I had not, I didn't do the first time around. Pelvic floor exercises, going to a chiropractor, acupuncture.
For you or for
no, for but these are like things that we didn't even like consider or think about before. Also, there a lot of the myths around like, and I am not a medical professional at all.
Neither am I.
This because
me
but we had doctors that were like being lax about like, eat what you want. Don't worry don't worry about if you're gonna have a piece of sushi. Go get some good sushi. Don't get it from a gas station.
No.
But there's a lot of things of don't eat raw fish. Don't have deli meat. But the doctor's like, just relax. just don't. The more you're freaking about this, you're probably doing worse for your child. Honestly. And I will say this, like the technology of, I think that baby clothes and baby gear has taken so much from like the camping industry. It's wild. It's so wild. Like the pajamas have double zippers. It's amazing. Like it's awesome because you could like zip them from the feet up and change the diaper without having like take them all out of everything. It's awesome. It's like, where was this the first time around? But I will say this, like clothes with snaps, I still am like, no.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Those are tough.
Like 20 million snaps going like, you're like,
well, if you're holding a squirmy thing and trying to snap, it's very.
It's like, what the heck is this all this going? Like, put like, like just like pop up like, pack and plays and stuff. It's just like, just like a pop up tent. It's amazing.
Do not give people snap baby clothes.
No.
Do not give people snap baby. If you want,
right in the trash.
No, in the trash. Burn them. They burn them to ash. It is a terrible, terrible thing. The zippers, very important. We learned that quickly. And one of the big things too is that, just on this thing about the technology, right, is those diaper genies. Like, diaper genie great. Gen 1, like the diaper genie I had, like I see what people have now, and it's like they have like scent like emitters and things like that. Like, you open a diaper genie and it's Toxic Avenger in there, but like the ones they have now, like a little bit of lavender or rosemary, and it's quite pleasant. I think it's great. Yeah, technology is great, and that 3D printing thing is brilliant. Like like the holster and things like that. Like a business opportunity. I don't know. Yeah. Can we get them monogrammed with 3D-dimensional?
Oh my God. I did see this funny thing related to Diaper Genie that guys were holding up like their Diaper Genie bags like there were fish that they caught, seeing how much they could stuff them. It was pretty amazing.
So, like, how do we wrap this up? Like, it's you can't wrap up having a child because it keeps going and going and going.
It's still
swaddle
going.
it.
Yeah.
It's still going. You
swaddle it. That's how you get it from the.
I will say this quick anecdote. I was the swaddler in my house. I was the king of swaddling. I think it's because I'm a big fan of burritos.
Yeah.
But that was my job. I was proud of that. I was, I had my little, like, my niche, so to speak.
Yeah.
So what's hard? What is too tight of a burrito, and what's a
no? Like, you can't wrap the burrito.
Can't be too tight.
Can't be too tight. That's it.
Right. You heard it here.
But I think everything we said here, hopefully that will help people. I remember some of the best things you said, Ian, in our episode 4 of season 1 is like lots of pictures. Like make sure that like you have everything going, like a tactical dad diaper bag. Is
I
like
love
the
that
best
because the
thing.
time to pack is not during active labor.
No,
it's like when you find out it's time to go, you got to go.
No.
And for dads, it helps to have like a bug out bag.
Yeah.
Same with like a zombie apocalypse, but for a baby, you know that night's coming. Bring some sweatpants, bring a pillow, bring a blanket,
chargers,
a cell phone charger.
Chargers. Yeah.
It's like those
hospitals are cold.
Yes, they are. Amazingly cold.
Those like montages in movies where like the Navy SEALs are getting ready for a mission, they're checking their ammo, they're checking their bags, stuff like that. That was me with the baby bag before we left the house. I'm like, I have puffs, I have extra water, I have diapers, I have a couple of outfits, I have all this stuff, and then like
a bandolier of formula.
Why not, right? It comes in the powder thing. I don't know. It's great. I hope this episode helped people, right? I hope that all those new dads out there are enjoying their time. And I just think, take every moment and take it from 3 dads, right? It does go fast, and enjoy yourself.
Absolutely.
Balancing fatherhood and fandom.
And that's a wrap, or should I say swaddle, on revisiting our new dad guide to having a baby in 2025. We hope you found it fun and informative as you're about to change your first diapers. Let us know your thoughts. We want to hear from you.
On our next episode, we'll be continue wrapping, but this time we'll be wrapping up 2025 with our traditional year-end look at our favorites movies, games, and TV shows. So don't forget to follow us wherever you listen to your podcast. And don't forget to like and subscribe to us. We're on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. 3 Dimensional Dads.
It's time to clock in. We'll see you next time on 3 Dimensional Dads.